me tell you my understanding or my first take on why we need religion. Okay. Religion means there is a structure which is expected to be followed. That's the first step, right? Now let us question this fundamental premise. Why should there be a structure for knowledge? Why should there be a structure which all of us should follow? Now, even our normal worldly sciences and knowledge systems, you find that we need to go through a structure, isn't it? Does it really matter that B has to come after A? You tell me. Nothing else will matter if I say alphabet starts from Z, Y, X, W, D, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, and all that stuff. I, G, F, E, D, C, B, A. It will work, you see. But then I am still not seeing even the most revolutionary teachers changing the order of alphabet. Why? Because they are mature people. They understand anyway they need to learn these 26 alphabets. And there is a convention, there is a structure. Chalo, let us follow it. What is the big deal? Because the purpose is let the children learn letters and then, of course, words and hence sentences and hence the meaning out of sentences, comprehension out of sentences so that they can communicate and understand each other meaningfully, you see. And so they put a convention, they put a structure, and everywhere in the world they say A, B, C, D, E. So we understand if you want to learn something quickly and not reinvent the wheel, it's always better to take a structure, learn the fundamentals, and be ready to then experiment. Then bring your originality. And the most original thoughts, I think, comes pretty much when you are a graduate or when you are in your doctorate program where you're trying to synthesize known principles and maybe try to show an unknown aspect of a principle or maybe even an unknown principle. But you don't do that from your kindergarten or your primary school, isn't it? So you need a structure for education. It's well known. It's our experience. There is no intelligence in questioning the structure at the preliminary level. If a child in kindergarten keeps on questioning why should B come after A, the teacher may even think, wow, you are asking questions way beyond your age. But then if the child is stuck in the question, can the child even speak properly when it grows up? It will be stuck with, I asked a fantastic question when I was in kindergarten. You are no longer in kindergarten. You are 40 years old. What have you done to your life? Right? So for any knowledge, we need a structure which needs to be followed. Any education system wants us to find something originally or experience something which is unique to us. For example, literature. What do you think is the highest fruit of literature? If you ask me, apart from all the utilitarian aspects, it is the aesthetic enjoyment of, say, poetry and great works of literary arts, right? Like great epics, etc. They can teach you how to read. They can show you a structure of aesthetics. And all that is preparing the ground for you to relish something which is very original, very personal, very subjective. For example, when I read Rabindranath Tagore's poem, of course, my English teacher taught me all that. She taught me about irony. She taught me about paradox. She taught me about alliteration. She taught me about all these figures of speech, Alankara Shastra. And she prepared. She had a structure. She had lessons. Whether I liked it or not, she followed it and made me follow it. You have to write an exam. You have to write a test. But then, thanks to all that, whether I did it grumblingly or not, I don't remember, thankfully. Now that system of literary appreciation has prepared me, because I followed that system, for me to individually, personally, subjectively relish a poem of, say, Gitanjali, Rabindranath Tagore. You see? Now this cannot be taught finally. This is the fruit of being taught, fruit of following a structured system. Now I am looking at a poem and said, wow, the system has given its fruit in that experience of the aesthetic joy when I read a poem. This entire training, this entire system of English grammar, English literary figures of speech, alliteration and simile, metaphor, all that which I learned finally gave fruit when I got the subjective experience. The way in which I relish a poem won't be the way in which you relish a poem. And so this entire system which I was made to follow finally gave its fruit in experience, right? Likewise, there are some experiences we humans are potentially capable of, which is far more joyous, far more fulfilling. And religion, especially I'm talking about Sanatana Dharma, I don't know about other religions because I have not studied them deep enough. I talk for Sanatana Dharma. is preparing us, bringing structures. At times, the structures may be, some of the practices may be a little dry as perceived by some, but then they are necessary so that we can get to that state where we can have a personal, call it subjective, unique experience. And if we miss having that experience, it's almost as if we missed being a complete human, because the other aspects of humanity are pretty much shadowed in other species of life, with due respects to them. But then this joy, which we, let me call it a religious joy or spiritual joy or divine joy, okay, and the divine experience, I don't think by and large other species are capable of experiencing. And that's why we need a structure for a religion which we need to follow to prepare us so that we can have an individual, personalized, and a unique experience of aesthetic joy and fulfillment.